Did I ever tell you the definition of insanity? All right, we skip all the fluffery because this is the motorized Rage Fire from X-Shot. Now, why does that matter? Well, X-Shot, to my knowledge, has never done a flywheel blaster. The motorized Rage Fire is, in fact, a flywheel blaster. And unlike other companies that start in the shallow end of the pool, X-Shot dived right in with the big boys because this is a flippin' minigun, belt-fed. Beautifully smelling, quite tasty too. I can't fit on screen with the box at the same time. But you get the motorized Rage Fire, and if you were to combine every single blaster from the X-Shot Insanity line, you could build the ultimate insanity. And that's the name of the game. Not only are you getting a great blaster at a great price, coming in at $45 US for the Rage Fire, but the more you buy, the more parts you get and the more insane things you can do. Think of it like actual blaster Lego. Is it practical? No. Is it the coolest gimmick ever? It absolutely is, and anybody who says otherwise is wrong. I can't tell if he's crying out in pain, rage-fueled adrenaline, or he's yawning. Speaking of clickbait, you don't actually get this many ammo holders with this blaster, which is a bit of a shame. You get a tripod? Well, that's gonna be interesting. You get 40 chain dart belt, 2 circular ammo holders, and 2 secret tools that'll help us out later. Speaking of which, a pack of darts, a pack of chain, another pack of darts. How many of these things do you have to use, Zuru? Oh yeah, no, this is gonna be fun. 2 ammo holders that are actually different than the ones we got with the Mad Mega barrel. These are Picatinny rail dart holders. So instead of fitting on Picatinny rail, they have a Picatinny rail. I'm sure this has unique uses I'm not thinking about. Scope of some description, there's no magnifier or anything in it, it's just pieces of plastic, but a scope for a minigun? Okay. This is where a lot of the fun is gonna be, and you get not 1, but 2 of them. And yeah, this is an actual tripod. I mean, I wouldn't be trusting my camera or anything on it, but yeah, it locks out into position. It's got a swivel thing on the top of it, and I can already tell you, I'm only seeing that much, which is still a lot more than what the Vulcan gave us from Nerf a long time ago. But all the like promotion for this, I swear, it shows, I thought this was gonna stand like 3.5, 4 feet tall. And yeah, you can't even see it. It's about crotch level, which is only slightly disappointing. I would have gladly paid more money for a slightly longer tripod. And here's the whole blaster itself, and really, this is the whole blaster. This is just extra fun spinny bits. Carry handle on the top that can fold out of the way. It isn't removable or adjustable, which is a little disappointing. Spade grips in the back, and this is your trigger system. That is super cool. So surprisingly enough, it is actually comfortable to use this one-handed, but you can use it two-handed if you want. Picatinny rail, Picatinny rail, Picatinny rail, Picatinny rail. Lots of options. And the barrel is actually connected to the belt feeding mechanism. So as I turn this, you can see how those teeth are rotating. It's connected to the entire firing mechanism. That's interesting. This is, of course, the chain, and it comes in multiple little segments here that you snap together. But the chain is kind of what you saw with the V-Twin from Adventure Force. The chain has these gaps in the top of it, and that's for the wheel and the firing mechanism to basically just spin, and when a foam dart touches that, it will launch the foam dart into the spinning flywheels and launch the dart out of the blaster. And of course, with the chain, you just snap it together like so, and you can make as long of a chain as you have chain links. Now, of course, you can link the chain together if you choose. However, you do not have to, and if you don't, the chain will simply fall out of the blaster after you fired your last round. Battery box is located on the left side of the blaster, and it's powered by 6 AA batteries. That is amazing. So to kind of show you what's going on here, you push the little buttons in, and it starts revving. And then you pull them down, and it starts firing. That is super unique and cool, Zuru. Just twist and take out that little dingus, stuff that in. And that little switch on the bottom will let you limit how much this thing pivots. And then it will, of course, pivot on this axis as well. God, that's so cool. And this one, I actually don't know what that one does. The little feet on the tripod are rubber so they don't slip on the table. Really? So for a hot minute there, I actually thought this thing broke because when I picked it up, it wasn't firing. And that told me what the thing actually does. That stops it from being able to fire. It'll still rev up and spin the barrel, but it won't fire. That's really cool, Zuru. And I looked everywhere. It didn't say how many darts it actually comes with, on the box anyway, but it's 72. It comes with 236 packs of darts, which means you can fill up the chain and all of the dart holders. I just want to point out, for 45 bucks in this video, I have a minigun sitting on my desk. If that isn't worth your like and subscribes, I don't know what else is. And thankfully, because I'm the greatest TV chef in the world, I have not one, but two fully loaded 40 dart chains for the X-Shot Rage Fire. And yes, we're going to link these suckers together to create one 80 dart chain, which of course, much like the Mad Mega barrel drum itself, is one of the hottest fashion items of the year. And now it's ready to go. You're gonna be buying more chains for this. But of course, you don't even have to use the tripod if you don't want to. Oh yeah! I want to point out, this is Zuru's first time making a flywheeler, and that was not only a very good rate of fire for a stock blaster, that's hitting some pretty reasonable velocity for a full-length dart. And I'm sure it will come up, no, you cannot put half-length darts in the chain. Not only would you have to modify the chain for that to even work because they have dart posts in them, the darts are just not long enough. Let's take this over to Freddy and see what it can do. You know, after I spend 10 minutes picking up darts off the floor and reloading chains. All right, I've got my Rage Fire minigun here, and I've got Freddy. Freddy's a chronograph. He measures the velocity of things in feet per second. Now, the average velocity of a dart from a NERF brand blaster is about 70 FPS, or feet per second. Typically, X-Shot stuff hits a bit harder than that, but this is their first flywheeler, so let's see what it can do. I'm also curious to see if I can even single shot this thing. Oh, this is gonna be tricksy. 79.8. Oh, this is gonna be real difficult. 73.9, 85.7, 79.1, 91, 87.8, I'm done. This is real hard to chronograph, but those numbers are very impressive. It hits mid-80s to high 80s most of the time, and I saw 91 in there. Too bad it's real hard to chronograph a minigun. I'm sure it's equally as hard to chronograph a real minigun. All right, well, this is more than a little bit awkward, but the tripod is both too short for me to actually sit in the chair and shoot at the target normally, and also almost too tall for me to have it on the desk and standing. So we'll figure this out. I thought using the tripod would be the best idea here, because, you know, it stabilizes it, but it's also a flywheeler, so we're pushing a foam dart between two rapidly spinning wheels, which isn't the best thing for accuracy. So at this point, let's just try to have fun. Look, I even put the little scope on it. That is not going to help us whatsoever. This isn't more of an accuracy test, this is just to show how cool this is, but I've got a simulated target downrange. Closer to the bullseye, higher the score. Typically, decent blasters get around a 70, and exceptionally good blasters get 85 and above. This, I'm not quite sure. Even if it doesn't, who cares? It's a minigun. And 54. We might be able to do better. Might. Round 2. Fight! $51. I mean, it has all the help in the world, but yeah. Final round, minigun. 30. Yeah, that's what you'd expect from a minigun when it comes to accuracy. It's still lovely. So funny enough, it seems virtually impossible to build the config that they had on the front of the box with the Rage Fire. Even if you have enough of these, they don't physically fit like that, you can tell because of the drum. But these are absolutely amazing. This is a quad reverse Picatinny rail mounted thing that you could technically combine 4 blasters that have Picatinny rails together, and you get 2 of them in the box. Now, these double-sided ones come with things like the Mad Mega Barrel and the Berserko. This only comes with the Rage Fire, and I mean, there's so many more possibilities with these things. I fear no man, but that thing. Yeah, you could be Gundam Heavy Arms. I mean, it works. It's a little wobbly. But it does in fact work. Did I ever tell you the definition of insanity? Yeah, I mean, obviously these things are stupid fun. It's not the most practical thing ever, but it's not meant to be the most practical thing ever. It's just one of those things where the more you buy, the more parts you get, the more fun you will have, the more blasters they add to the line, the more parts we're gonna get, the more cool designs we can build. It's a set piece, a spectacle, and it is dumb fun. All right, so for everything great about the Rage Fire, and it truly is an amazing blaster for $45, it does have some things that holds it back quite significantly that I have to talk about. For one, plastic quality. This thing is the same flimsy plastic you know Zuru for. It is adequate enough to be a toy, but your mileage will vary. I don't know how robust this whole mechanism is, but at the same time, I had one fall off the table barrel first and didn't cause a single issue. What is an issue is the belt, because the grip on the darts is practically non-existent. Problem with that is if you're running around with this thing, these darts fall out. And that also means that if a dart is like just slightly too far forward in this thing, and it's gonna be jamming a lot. And that is a huge bummer. However, if you have this on the tripod, using it as an emplacement, it's gonna be fine. But for $45 and it being so much bigger than the V-Twin and functioning pretty much the same, and you get all of the cool options and all the flexibility this blaster offers, that is an amazing deal for $45, and that's before it even goes on sale, and trust me, it's gonna go on sale, and I'm gonna buy a lot of them. Oh yeah, mod potential? Buff Daddy Nerf already made a cage for this thing. And I'm sure band blasters won't be far behind. Belts are absolutely awesome for having consistent rate of fire while having a very long capacity. Sure, they take a long time to reload, but if you already have all your belts loaded, you can have 1,000, 2,000 rounds and feed them through this thing. And if Zuru would have just made like de-linking chains for these, which would have been absolutely awesome and could be a 3D printed design that will also come in the future, as a dedicated emplacement tool out of the box for HVZ or something, the Rage Fire is absolutely amazing.